Thomas Haerter. He is Chief Strategist at Swisscanto Asset Management. He joins us now from Zurich. So, Thomas, I've just been speaking with my colleague Elliot about how bad the situation is, how serious the level of the franc is. What's your opinion? How overvalued is it?
Well, according to our PPP models, it's about 30–40% overvalued. But there's still some things which can be done in Switzerland. So, for example, people are working longer. So some small caps have already announced that their personnel will work 1 or 2 hours longer each week. But of course, that's no long-term solution. It's only a very short-term solution.
No, it's not. And you know, how dangerous is this to the economy? You just heard Elliot saying, you know, Swiss exports account for something like 50% of GDP. How much longer can they sustain the economy at these levels?
Well, it really depends, because some industries are really competitive, basically at, I exaggerate a little bit, all exchange rates. Let's take, for example, the luxury watch industry. So their price is not the most important ingredient. So they will certainly stay competitive, even with an exchange rate of 110.
You've said that if the economy doesn't weaken, it's going to crash. Just bring that to life for us. A Swiss economic crash, what does that look like?
Could you repeat the question, please?
In my notes from yourself, yes, I have you saying something quite alarming, saying that the Swiss economy could crash if the franc doesn't weaken. I want you to take us through that comment.
Yes, I mean, yes, that's true. I mean, as I said, it depends on the industries. Some are really competitive, even at much higher exchange rates. But let's say the average has huge problems, I think, even with an exchange rate of 120 or 130.
Okay, when we talk about...
I think this statement is true.
Okay, when we talk about the reasons why the Swiss franc is such a haven at the moment, my colleague Elliot was talking about perhaps the derivatives market being a reason, but there's also this other reason where you've got a lot of Europeans holding bank accounts in Switzerland. They're just piling that money into cash. What's the main reason that the Swiss franc is a haven, and what can they do to make it less of a haven?
I do think it's a natural haven because it's the capital of the private banking world, so to speak. So it's a natural hiding place for people in France or in Germany or in Italy. Many may already have a banking account in Switzerland, so it's very easy to transfer money, and it's very easy to transfer it into Swiss francs. For example, in Norway, the Norwegian economy is as good as the Swiss economy. Many indicators are even much better, but it's not a natural hiding place. So therefore, we do think that the Norwegian krona is extremely undervalued against the Swiss francs.
Okay.
Against the Swiss franc.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. We're out of time. Thanks, though, very much, Thomas Haerter, Chief Strategist at Swisscanto Asset Management, for your insights.